What's up, guys? It's RP Forex here with another live session, the last one of the week. Today is August the 8th, 2019, and let's get this show on the road. Let me just quickly send up these links and get this live session. We finally got some movements in the market. Things are starting to set up. Hopefully, they set up for some nice movements in our favor. We are in Euro right now, which was in, earlier drawdown, but we've come back pretty close to entry, and we have a lot of wicks to the upside, so I'm confident that we should go down. However, this could consolidate well into next week. So while you guys get settled, I will be sending up these links for the live session. And the gold, we'll talk about gold. Gold did retrace to the 38.2 Fib level, which is the key area we're looking at to maybe continue our buys. There's also a probability of gold going down lower. We'll look at the dollar index and get a good idea of where gold should be headed next, and in general, the USD pairs. So the links are sent through. I'm gonna get this session started. So let's go. Euro. So markets, some pairs I've noticed this week, some of the pairs just have been consolidating and consolidating. Euro is one of them. This is the 8 hourly, and we can see on the 8 hourly we have been in about probably a 40 to 50 pip range. The hourly can tell the tale more clearly. You can see from this price point right here, 1.1250 to 1.1180 is which where Euro has been bouncing in and around. No real movements on either side, but what this does tell us is a breakout on either point can lead to a significant move. Let me just slide this across and actually draw the consolidation box. This is why I called out the NSD CAD swing short, just because there's no movements in some of the majors, and I was getting a bit restless. I know some of you were too, so there were good setups. It wasn't rushed or anything, but I do believe NSD CAD will be going down. Currently we're down around 20 pips in drawdown, which is fine. But this is the consolidation box for Euro. We did tap 1.12200 a couple times, which is some hourly resistance. We had a nice long wick. My apologies for that. We had a nice long wick to the upside. All we're looking for now for short continuations down is a close below 1.11942 on this level right here. So somewhere below this, hourly support would be great. A close within this trend line. So this, let me pause this daily. A close within this daily trend line, maybe somewhere here, would be further confirmed for moves down to 1.10,000, which was our earlier take profit. Next take profit once we smashed 1.11,000 during NFP. So that's what we see. Overall, the price structure is down. It's a downtrend. Nonetheless, we have not cleared this high. So for Euro, we're still gonna stay put. There's no fundamentals to really give it some push. There's just Aussie today, the monetary policy. We do have some China CPI, and tomorrow it's mainly pound. So the pound and CAD, we have some major things tomorrow for those two. GDP for the pound, CAD, employment, unemployment. Let me just look at the forecast for these. So the forecast, there's none for the CAD. For the pound, things are looking just weaker overall. Worse than the previous. The forecasts are all down, so we should see some pound weakness. Now going to the pound, we did speak about this range, and like I said on Monday's session, pound will consolidate all week until Friday, and is basically doing that. We're in the same little consolidation box. You can go to the 4 hourly to see this. We're in this kind of box right here. We did have a nice ascending channel on on the lower time frame, but nothing too significant. We did get that break outside of that channel, but it didn't attest to anything because we were at the support region. Prices bounced back up, and it's probably going to stay this way until tomorrow when the fundamentals released. And what will happen tomorrow is you can actually use the sell stop, buy stop, sell limit, buy limit strategy for trading news. Excuse me. I discussed this during NFP, how to do it. You usually just put sell stops or buy stops in and around key levels, and during the time of the release of the whatever news release it is, one of those two will get activated. Once one of the buy stops or sell stops get activated, you want to close the other, and you can usually make quick pips that way. I might make a separate video maybe on the weekend or sometime next week explaining that strategy in depth. We can definitely do that. But on the hourly, nothing major. The support region is holding well. Back at the start of August, all the way dating back to July, the support region has kept the pound up despite any Brexit or election news. We really just stuck within above this support region, and I think that's what we're gonna do until we get Friday's figures. So tomorrow will definitely be a major day for the pound, but overall, just following a nice consolidation region. And extend this over to the left, and it perfectly engulfs it. Either way, for shorts is what I'm looking for pound, especially with the forecast being negative. Pound should be going lower. The only time we're going to be longing pound is when we break 1.22453, which was this last significant high we had back in July. Moving on, gold. So gold we had longed earlier in the week from somewhere here, 400 pips secured, and now we were looking for continuation to at least 1528 region. I set up a buy stop because I knew that gold had extended quite a bit. Looking at this movement, gold has extended quite a bit. A nice big move. There was going to be a retrace at some point, and one of the points was going to be at and around 1510. To our key level of 1490, and this key level, pan back in, doing our fibs. Let me do it again so people can understand how to do the fibs from our swing low to our swing high. You can see right now we're sitting at the 38.2 Fib level, which correlates well to our 1490 region that we spoke about yesterday, right where we we wicked into this region and we're kind of holding support. So ideally for this buy setup to hold true, let me remove this. We would want a break of price structure. More importantly, gold has created a downtrend, a down channel. What we want is a pierce above this trend line. If you even want, you can draw this out. So we're creating a nice bullish breakout pattern. A nice pennant where you just do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then break out. So what we want is a break and close outside of this trend line, and we could continue up long. The only time I'd say to cut out the the long bias is if we do close below 1490. Then I will definitely start looking for shorts. But overall, if you look at the 4-hourly, the price structure is still bullish. We haven't created any significant lows that are changing the trend itself. The overall trend, I mean, you can't even fit it in one screen. The overall trend, starting from 1400, has been in a nice upward motion with very small retraces. If you look at the size of the retraces, for example, this move, and now this move, they're all similar in size. So this retrace is nothing, too aggressive. That's why I didn't really jump into shorts. And zooming in, we can see a lot of these retraces, for example, are printing hammers. Price is very reluctant to close fully, within this region. So it's good for our bias to go long. All we want to do is wait for that push outside of this this pennant pattern. Tomorrow is Friday, so you just gotta be wary of that. ideally for us, I hope it does consolidate within this region from 1500 to 1490, this 100 pip region, until next week, when we can enter without any worry about weekend swap costs and etc. So that's gold. Definitely I do see it still going up. And while we're looking at gold and the majors, let's look at the dollar index. We haven't done that in a while. And while I go through this, you guys could definitely send in your pair recommendations. So gold, the dollar index, actually, was this the chart I like? No. Yeah, okay, so this is the dollar index, and last week, when we had the NFP fiasco, etc., we did break above 97.642. So there's a key resistance for the dollar index. And if you don't know what the dollar index is, it's just the metric that measures the strength of the dollar against all currency pairs, or at least about 10. But that's what we had that earlier push above this key level for the dollar index, 97.642. Going to the monthly, you can see there's actually a nice downtrend line right here. So you can see, starting from February of '85, we had this this trend line connect one touch. We had our second touch in December of 2016, and now we're going on into our third touch in this month. And zooming in, we can see that price has tried to break above. Zooming in, so we saw price did try to wick above, but it snapped back in. So the price structure on the long-term basis is looking bearish. Even the weekly can tell you that. Looking at the weekly, we see a nice evening star off the trend line, and we did have a nice fat bearish candle, which is now being squeezed above this resistance, which is 97.642. And on the hourly, on the daily, for our trade setups, we do want this candle to close back up above resistance, maybe make a move higher. I definitely see dollar index maybe making another push for 98.292. Nice resistance right there, contract zone. So we might make a push up there. Zooming out, we do see this ascending trend line that we have tapped off of. So I do see maybe a push up there, which would be great for us, especially for our EURJPY trade and our potential gold, potential for our gold shorts if we do get those. Otherwise, if dollar index does close back under this resistance, we could make a push to 95.390, which will also be great because we are looking for gold buys. So that's the dollar index. Definitely some movements are being made later in the week, but this week pretty much started with a lot of consolidation. USD CAD. I am looking at shorts. I was looking at London session earlier last night, and ooh shoot! In the morning I was looking at this, and the push has been made. So I had this right here as entry, and man, I wish it wasn't such a significant move. Maybe some sort of retest, maybe a pullback. But this is what I see for USD CAD. It is a short. We should see a touch to at least the support zone, 1.32444. We're about 20 pips away from touching that zone, and a final take profit at 1.32100. Sometimes the entries are aggressive. Let me look at the 30-minute candle. Pretty sure this was an aggressive, so it was an aggressive move. We didn't really get any sort of miniature break and then an entry. But you see the entry was supposed to be at 1.32700. We're already 12 pips down, but I wish I called it, or had the chance to call it. But this is the USD CAD. If you're looking for it, the setup is pretty simple. Head and shoulders. Here's your head. Here's your shoulder. Here's your shoulder. We just have a break of the neckline. The neckline was this right here. 100 being touched. Looking at CAD employment and unemployment tomorrow. These might be the catalyst for this full move to happen. That's USD CAD. I'm gonna take a quick peek at the chat before I continue on, and let me know if the audio quality is good enough to hear. What's up, Jason Payne? Oh, USD CAD, you're in. Congrats, man. Great. Hopefully you're in short. It was a pretty nice setup to enter. Aussie, I'll look at Aussie, Jonathan. What's up, guys? Okay, okay. So Aussie would be next. So earlier in the week, we did short Aussie for a nice quick 50 pips, and we were just waiting for the retest to enter short again, and we never really got that. So this was our initial short setup. I'm going to remove it. So let's say we did continue our short. Our stop loss was at 0.68453, and Aussie has made quite some run since our last entry. So I'm gonna remove this just for clarity's purpose. And looking at Aussie, let's get out of the 30-minute time frame. So Aussie has definitely gained some strength. I actually don't know why. Sometimes you just don't know why price is doing what it's doing. There hasn't been any major fundamentals that I can think of. Later today, we do have monetary policy. So unless investors or people within the know-how heard about maybe the rate cuts aren't happening, or they might reevaluate that decision, you might see Aussie strength, and that's why we are seeing it right now. Another thing is just the market's just getting priced in, ready for the rate cut policy statement, and then Aussie could go further down. But it's quite a significant pullback for Aussie. Looking at the daily, we can actually see that we actually broke a significant support. This was a significant support region. Hopefully the monthly can make it more clear. So panning out, looking to the left, we can see this support region right here has been pretty significant for the Aussie. The last time we broke it was in 09. So since 2009, we've had stayed above this support region. And when we did get a close below the support region, like we did here, we did get a fallout to this zone. Looking to the left was also support back in 04. So quite a significant region, and the reason why we did swing short it was earlier in the week this candle was somewhere down here, and we had a nice significant close below. Not only that, on the smaller time frames, we had that retest after the break. So we had the break, retest, rejection, and we had this nice 50 pip move. And usually price continues. Even if you draw the fibs, we've actually extended, and we're probably at a fib extension level. So going from our recent high to our low, Aussie has gone above our 1.0 fib level, and it might be going to the 1.618 extension. Hopefully for us, since we do have a short bias, we want to get in short again. By the monetary policy statement, the rate cuts are confirmed, and we should have a further fallout. But there was definitely a miniature trend shift. Obviously, you broke the recent high, and right now I wouldn't touch Aussie. We have some sensitive fundamentals coming up, and price action. Sometimes when it doesn't make sense, you don't want to get into it. But it is gearing up for a short-term long, especially since we have closed above this this resistance right here, 0.67800. I mean 900. Right here, we were capped within it for quite some time. We finally got that break above, and I believe the lower time frame could show that we did retest. Yeah, so the lower time frame showed we pushed up this level, came back to retest it, and now we're rejecting it. So we could see 0.68308 within the next few hours before the monetary policy. You can see if I illustrate this out, you can see a nice move up to here. Within the next few hours, it's probably a given. Zooming out, yeah, it's a given. We definitely had a trend shift in Aussie. Who knows if it's momentarily or for the long term, but based on how much the Aussie has dropped, I wouldn't consider it to be a nice opportunity to go swing long. But look out for this key level to be touched. It's also one of our extension levels right before the monetary policy. What I'll be looking at doing is, if you remember about the strategy I talked about with the buy stops, if during the monetary policy right before price is somewhere in this area, just a couple pips away, I'd have buy stops right above this level, and I have my take profit to the next high, somewhere here maybe. Secure a nice 20 pip move off news. On the flip side, if price has closed below this region right here, 0.67935, I'd have sell stops right below there for a take profit to 0.64500. That's what I see for Aussie. Today's fundamental release at 7:30 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. will be telling of where it's gonna go next. But I was kind of upset, over the past few days looking at Aussie. I was always looking for some entry, maybe around here. When we did get that retrace, we didn't get any sort of rejection. All we did was a break above this level, a retest of this level, and a rocket up. So that's why we didn't enter short again. We didn't get that retest rejection like we usually do. Moving on, someone asked for oil. Man, I usually forget to look at oil. Will do. So let's look at oil. Okay, so it's been some time since we last looked at oil. Last time we looked at oil, we had a nice short setup off the trendline touch, bagged pretty much 150 pips. Going to recent price action. Let's look at the recent time frames. So if you guys remember, we did draw this weekly trend line, and it's looking like we are trying to break out of it. Oil is heavily correlated with the Canadian dollar. So tomorrow, when we do have the unemployment release, we could have some major moves for oil. But on the weekly time frame, we're at support right now, right around 51.56 per barrel. Nice little support region. You can even draw a box if you want to, because it does span a region of 50 or so pips. So this is where we're at. We're sitting at support. Probably resting for the release tomorrow. Looking at, given that we have bounced on a trend line, we should be looking at maybe buy opportunities if that. The small time frame does show that we did close out of the trend line that we drew, and right now price has reacted off our support zone. What I'd be looking for, if you're a swing trader that loves to trade commodities, and this is things like gold and silver, look for something like this to play out. Maybe a close below the support region. Maybe somewhere here would be nice. Ideally, if you want the safest entry, just looking to the left, this support region's pretty strong. If you want to swing short opportunity, definitely a close below 50.32 per barrel. That way you're not risking this support region or this one right here, because if you look to the left, in 2018 we did use this price point as support. So if you want the safest bet, look for a break below 50.32, and you can short to 44.87 per barrel, and you can have a nice risk to reward setup. So a break stops right above this support region, and something like this, 2.25 risk to reward, and this could definitely happen, especially if the Canadian dollar fundamentals come out weaker than expected. Actually stronger than expected. We could have this nice push. That's what I see for oil. We did break a nice significant downtrend, so be cautious of that. Let me actually fix that. because the wicks aren't connecting. So yeah, we did have a significant close outside of this. On the flip side, what could happen is price could come back up, retest this trend line, and then push down. If you're looking for that, look for push up, a nice bearish engulfing or a evening star, cloud cover, etc. And you can short to the same level, with the first take profit being at 51.56, the next one being at 50.32. Because you're in a support region, you want to take you want to have smaller increments between take profits, and then you can extend it out to 44.87. That's oil for FX, bruv. And so we've covered oil, we've covered Aussie. We'll do one more pair before we send this live session off. NSD catch shorts, we are in it. Euro USD shorts, we're still in it. NSD USD, we have sell stops. And oh, what's up, Doris? How are you? And okay, so Euro Yen, and we'll send this off. Okay, so Euro Yen, actually nice. So yesterday we did discuss the potential for a short continuation for Euro, and we did get that during London. For whoever asked, we got a nice pullback to our support that we broke, and we were in this nice descending channel. And I do see Euro Yen going down. Right now it's just consolidating, as is Euro USD. They're heavily correlated. But during the London, we did reach 30 pips into profit. That's the thing about swing opportunities. If you want to look on the hourly, we did get about 30 pips into profit. So whoever secured those small pips, congrats. But Doris, what I'm looking for is a nice break for me to call this signal in terms of Telegram. For the live session, a lot of you guys are experienced traders or getting there, so you guys kind of understand price action. For people on the signals that do not come to these live sessions, they're just looking to copy and paste. They don't get that signals need to be used as tools. And so for those, they'll just see, maybe they'll just look through the live session and see this, the stop loss and the take profit, and they'll enter right away. They won't understand that I've said there's price action needed to happen for entries to be validated. So Boris, for shorts, the best case scenario for for a swing short opportunity, hopefully you caught these 30 pips. If not, no big deal. I'm gonna slide this to the left. The best case scenario is a close below 118.384. We're about 80 or 80 pips and change from there. But the beauty of that is this is a recent support, right? Looking to the left, it's been a recent support, and if we can break that, that's obviously going to let us go for more downside. The first stop obviously being 117.760. It's around 70 pips away. So that's what we're looking at. Right now we're consolidating. You can see that we did have this miniature descending channel, which we did break out of. But when we broke out of it, we didn't have really any major move up. I can extend this across, and we can see we had another attempt at it. Zooming in, we did have a nice bullish engulfing candle off this ascending channel. So what could happen is we could have a another attempt to 119.854, which is recent resistance, and then go short. But the overall bias is short for Euro Yen for me for the remaining quarter and going to quarter four. So it's all about best entry. So if we do get a nice entry here, our stops could be even significantly smaller. If we do get a break here, our stops could be significantly smaller. But that's what I see for Euro Yen. Looking at the daily, you can see it's still clear as day. Shorts, we did break this major ascending trend line. You can see on the monthly, you can see beautiful wick to wick to wick. We had a nice close outside. Looking to the left, when we did get the close outside of a key level, this key level in particular, 119.854. We've always had a push to the support region. We've had it done here. 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 We've had it done here, and even here. So you get. Hope you guys get that. That's the overall price structure for Euro Yen is down, and even fundamental support. This yen is acting as a safe haven. The trade war is still going on. Euro is pretty much on the brink of recession. It's all about damage control at this point. But that's what I see for Euro Yen. It's just about getting the best entry. If you have a big account, or you just love to swing trade, by all means, don't even look at the smaller time frame, and just go for something like this. 1.77 to 1.6 risk to reward, and you can short it. Obviously, all of us want the best the best entry. Want to be in and out. So we want to look for something more along the lines of something like this, right? Stop loss very small. Risk to reward 2.9. So this is what we're gonna be looking at until next week. We just looking at previous price action. During any significant move, we do have for Euro Yen. Doris, just be patient. Next week, I'll definitely cover entries, more significant entries, when this sort of stuff plays out. But that's today's session. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully by later today, NSD CAD can play out. Looking at NSD CAD right now, perfect. So we were in some drawdown. We shorted off the 50 fib level. We did make a push to the 78.6. We had a nice rejection. And looking at it, we did have this trend line that was drawn. We did have official break. NSD CAD is down for me. That is my bias, and it will stay that way. So just be patient. These swing trades usually pay off, and they're usually more easier to analyze, especially when the markets are consolidating. So there won't be a live session tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday. We usually don't trade Friday, but be cautious of these fundamentals at 4:30 a.m. for GDP, for the pound, prelim GDP, manufacturing production, major events, and later in the day we have CAD, which will be major for the CAD obviously, and oil. So that's today's session. I will see you guys Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern. If you have any questions, concerns about trading or signals, or about the trading room in general, email support@forexlens.com and we can help you. And I hope you guys enjoy these sessions. I love the participation. There's only a rare few of people that have the motivation to actually learn how to trade. So I appreciate everyone for coming out to these live sessions, and I hope they help you. So that's today's session. Any last remarks, send them in now. Other than that, I'll send it off. Just checking the chat. So Doris. So yeah, we covered euro, we covered pound, covered USD, yen, we covered gold, Aussie, oil, euro, yen. So it was a great session. No problem, Alex. And yep, USD is a go for you. Congrats. Definitely a nice short. Too bad the initial entry was too aggressive, but I'm sticking by that. We should see CAD weakness tomorrow, but we shall see. Enough blabbering. I'll see you guys on Monday. Peace.